Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you all how I built my own AI startup company that does stock analysis at real time, that too with $0 investment. Yeah, you heard it right. It is $0 investment. And the more important thing is I'm only using free open source component that includes Groq, Langchain, the framework which is CrewAI, and some other APIs, that too for free. Here I have a previous result of running this project for Netflix company stock. As you could see here, for a given company Netflix, it generates a report in which it has analyzed multiple facets that are required to make a decision before buying or selling the stock of a company, be it from the financials of the company or any trending news related to the company that gives us sentiment of how the company is performing. These are all required for us to make a decision before buying or selling the stock of a company. And the more important thing is it finally gives a conclusion of if you can buy the stock. And it has said here that in terms of investment strategy, I would recommend a long-term approach, holding a stock. And it is saying like you can buy the stock and hold the stock for at least 12 to 24 years. And that is what interests me a lot, because it is saying that you can hold the stock for some reason. Okay, so this is what we are going to generate in this video. We are going to create an AI company which will generate reports like this for any company you create. First, I'll explain about the components which we are going to use, and then we'll move on with the coding part. Let's start with an introduction to Crew.AI, which is the framework we are going to use to create this company. CrewAI is a framework that enables you to create role-playing autonomous AI agents, that too in an environment. Here it tries to create multiple instances of a same AI model for multiple roles. Let's say I'm using an LLM known as Mistral. I'll create a content writer with a Mistral. I'll create a marketer with Mistral. I'll create a report writer with Mistral. So each Mistral will have its own role to play. Usually CrewAI uses OpenAI as its LLM, but here I'm going to show you all how you could use Groq integrated with Langchain as our LLM, so that it will provide the closest performance to OpenAI, but it will be faster and more importantly free to use. In CrewAI, there are multiple components for us to start with. Here you can see there is agents, crews, tasks, tools, processes, and we'll start with crews. A crew in a CrewAI represents a collaborative group of agents that are working together to achieve a set of tasks, which is its goal. A crew, you can consider that it is the company which has n number of employees to do n number of tasks. It is a collaborative group, which means there will be interaction between them. Next, who are all in the crew? They are all agents. What is an agent? An agent is an autonomous unit that performs tasks, makes decisions, and conveys the same to the other agents. If it makes a decision, it will also communicate the same with the other agents, and it will help the other agents to complete this task, like how other agents helps to complete this task. Okay, this communication helps it. If you are wondering what is an agent, like I said before, just assume it as content writer, marketer, reporter. Each has its own goal to achieve in the company, where the company has its own end goal. For this agent to do its task, we are having a separate components known as task, which will provide the individual assignment that the agent needs to complete. When you are specifying a task, it is very important to specify to the LLM about how you can execute this task and what are all the tools required for you to complete this task. And all are provided by using this tool component. Next, the most powerful yet the underrated component of CrewAI, which is collaboration. Collaboration in CrewAI is the key to creating this company kind of an environment where it enables communication between the agents, sharing their knowledge and assisting each other to complete the goal, like how it happens in the real world as well. In real world, we help our friends and our friends help us. So similarly here also, each agent helps one another. Now there are some other components which we are going to use, and let me show all of those now. First, let's start with Langchain Groq. Instead of OpenAI, we are going to use Langchain Groq, and Groq in simple words, is the fastest inference framework in the world right now. And in that, we are going to run Mixtral, which will run at 400 tokens per second. At a second, it will generate 400 tokens. And the performance comes to close to GPT-4 level performance. And right now, it is free as well. Okay. So it offers the best of all the worlds. It is free. It offers close to GPT-4 level performance. It is the fastest right now. Okay. So for this, all you need to do is create an account in Groq and then move on to this website, console.groq.com/playground. In this, click API keys, click create API, give a name, let's say it is CrewAI, and then click submit. Once you click submit, there an API key will show. You just need to copy the key once because it won't show another time. Keep these API keys, which I'm going to say now, including this Groq key, in a separate file so that you can keep those in your .env file, which is very important. Now let's see about some of the other API which are required for our task, starting with SERPER. SERPER API is an API which will provide you links for a given query. Let's say I'm asking contents related to recent IPL. It will try to provide the links which are related to IPL. Okay, so this is for Google search and all, and you can get your API key from here. Okay, just copy your API key, again keep it in a separate environment. Next is Browserless, and Browserless is for automating complex scripting and other tasks and all. So here also you need to have an account, and once you create an account, it will show an API key, and here will be your API key. Here you can see I have used 23 requests till now. We have 1000 free requests and 2500 in SERPER. You can just copy your API key from here. Next, we have this SEC-API filings API. So you can create an account. When you create an account, it will show you an API key. Please copy that. It is showing me right now that it has disabled my viewing right now. I have an API, it is working. Okay, you can just copy the API key. This is for all the financial data. Here you can see it provides the financial data of a given company from a given date to a given date, along with how much is the company's revenue at the year end, fiscal year end. Okay, so keep all of these API keys in a separate file. And now let's start with the demonstration. For this, first go into my GitHub repository. This is what is the link which you will find in the description. Go into this folder known as Building Startups with CrewAI and click Stock Analysis Company. And here you have this stock analysis, right? You need to download this folder. Okay. So for this, you can, what you can do is you can just probably clone this repo or fork this repository and then download this stock analysis folder. Okay, so keep it in your local and go into that repository now. Let me show it in my VS Code. So here I am in my VS Code and this is stock analysis in here. Okay, so in this there are a lot of files which you can see. There is tools which we all will see right now. But the more important thing you all need to see is first creating a virtual environment for this to execute. For this, what you can do is go into your terminal and create a virtual environment with the help of Conda. For this, go into first pyproject.toml and do Conda, Conda create -n stock -analysis -crew Python equal to 3.10. This is very important, guys. Python 3.10 is a dependency in here, so keep it Python 3.10 and -y. So here you can see there are all the dependencies in there. Now how you are going to install that is, first activate this environment, Conda activate stock analysis crew, then go into the folder stock analysis, cd stock analysis, and write this command, poetry install -no root. If you see here, it will show poetry is not recognized. So what this shows is there is no poetry, and we are going to install that. Pip install poetry. Since poetry is installed now, run the same command, poetry install no root. You can see it is seeing all the dependencies which are there, and it will try to install all of those. So to check, what you can do is do pip list and take some of the name in this. For example, Y Finance. Is it there? Yes. Then the environment is ready, which is your first step. All the dependencies dependency packages are ready in your environment, and the next step is to create the .env file. So for this, add all of those API keys which I said you to create in a separate file and add it into it in a file known as .env, where keep these as keys. For example, your SERPER API key is 1 to 3. Just replace it at 1 to 3. For the key names only, I have created this folder known as content.txt and replace these key values with your API key. And once this is ready, you are ready to run the script. So first, let me run the code. It will run for some time and simultaneously I'll explain the code. Now let's run this, for which all you need to do is just run python main.py. So yeah, it wouldn't be there. Langchain Groq wouldn't be there in your environment. So do pip install Langchain Groq. Okay. Now it is asking what is the company you want to analyze. Previously we asked Netflix, and that is what the report which was there. Now let's ask it for Apple. So let it run. We'll keep it. So for you guys, I'll keep it minimized in here so that you can see it is running. Now let's start with the code. We should all start with main.py, and this is the file where everything is combined together. First, from CrewAI, we are importing Crew, and Crew is what is gonna integrate all of these agents with its task to do along with the tools together into a company. So you can assume that Crew is your company. And then we have from text, we are importing didn't, and what it will do is it will just remove any common white space, leading white space. Let's say I'm writing A and 5 spaces, then D. It will become like A space D. That's all. Okay. For that, we are having didn't, and then from stock analysis agents file, which is from here, we are importing stock analysis agents class. And then from stock analysis tasks class file, we are importing stock analysis task class. And as the name suggests, stock analysis agents has all of the stock analysis agents, whatever agents are required to achieve this task of analyzing the stock. And stock analysis tasks has all the tasks which the agent need to complete. Okay. So now we are creating a class known as financial crew, and we are just getting the company name. So let's say here it is Apple. So always this specific financial crew is going to focus on Apple company. Okay. Here you can see it is input. What is the company name you want to analyze? We are going to keep Apple, and then it will just give the Apple alone in here, and then it will start to run. So what are all there in the run function? First, we are creating an instance of stock analysis agents, and then an instance of stock analysis tasks. Next, in agents, we are creating an instance of research analyst, financial analyst, and then investment advisor. So what these agents do, we'll see later. And for these agents, we are assigning the task, and the agents and tasks are combined together in the crew, and then we are kicking off the crew, which means we are starting the crew. Okay, so that's how the crew is set up. Now let's start with the agent, and then we'll move on with the tasks. In CrewAI, there is a base class known as agent, which will represent the agent in the system, and that is there. Here we are importing the tools which are required. First, browser tools, so that you can interact with the browser. Let me show the tools simultaneously. Browser tools. Here you can see in a browser, for a given URL at chrome.browserless.io, we are providing our browserless API key, which we provided it in the .env file. So what we'll do is, to this URL, we'll put our request, post request, so that we can fetch the information from there. And that's what happens in here. It will try to create chunks of the content, and for each chunk in the content, we'll run it through this agent. So the agent here, the role is to be a principal researcher. The goal of the agent is to do amazing research and create summaries based on the contents that this agent is working with, and the backstory. We should always give a backstory of what this agent has been doing. Okay, so that is kind of saying the role in a better way. You are a principal researcher at a big company, and you need to do research about a given topic. That is the agent. And now you're creating a task with this agent, with the description being analyze and summarize the content below, where this will be the content, and make sure that the most relevant information in the summary written only the summary, nothing else. Okay, so make a summary out of it and provide the summary without losing any information. That is what this specific agent inside this browser tool does. And finally, we are getting the summary. Okay, so that's why we are getting the browser tools. And then next we are having calculator tools. And in calculator tools, it's nothing but when you give an operation, it will do that operation. That's all. Okay, so that's for calculate tools. And then next we have search tools. When you give a query, let's say here it is Apple. Okay, you need to get all the recent news which is related to Apple, and that's what this search tool does. It will try to search the news on the company Apple, and then it will return all of those links together along with the content in it as a single string in search news. And let's say you're not just searching the news, you're searching whole of the internet. Okay, let's say it is their documentation or their recent announcement or something like that. For that, it will use search internet tool inside the search tool. And then finally, we have SEC tools. In SEC tools, we'll get the filings which is done in the last probably fiscal year, one fiscal year. And in there is a form known as 10K form, which will give the useful information which are required to make a decision upon. And we'll go into that 10K form, and based on that, we'll try to see if we can like go into buying the stock or selling the stock based on what information it is giving in this 10K form. Okay, and there is also another form known as 10Q form. Both are almost close to similar, and for this there are some other functions which are required, which is download from HTML and embedding search, and that's all. Okay, so here you can see it is creating a character text splitter, and then it is making some retrieval, normal retrieval, which we do usually. Okay, and that's what embedding search also does here. Okay, so in this there is another function known as query API, which is used to make an API query, for which you need to first provide your API key. Okay, so that's about the SEC tool. All those tools are imported here, and now we are creating the analysts or analysis agents which are present in our company. Let's say for a fun way, I'll put it as I'm creating my employees. First employee is to analyze the financials. Okay, when he's coming into the interview, I'll say him impress all the customers with your financial data and market trend analysis. That's his aim. Okay, the backstory of this financial analyst who we are hiring now is that he's a very seasoned financial analyst who has a lot of expertise in stock market analysis and investment, which will be very helpful for our customer. So that is the backstory of this guy, financial analyst. Probably you can give him a name for you to easily call him. Okay, so he has a capability to work around these tools: SEC tools, calculator tool, search tool, browser tool, all are required for him, and we are providing him with all of those. Okay, you can just consider this to be a company environment itself. You're hiring a person who has very good expertise in analysis, and now he's saying, sir, I need the following things. I need a calculator. I need an access to internet. I need an access to some scraping and all. And I also need to access some filings in the last year. And we are providing him with all the tools. And now what he'll do is he'll try to do his work based on these tools. Who is this his? Okay, like who I'm terming as he or him here. That is our LLM, which is Groq. In Groq, we are providing the Groq API key. We are setting it from the environment file, and we are also providing the model name to be Mixtral 8x7 billion 32,768. So usually you will run into an error if you don't keep this max 8 or 30. I don't know what low value they have set in CrewAI. If you cross that iteration, right, it will stop. And to avoid that, you are keeping it as 30 in here. Okay, so for our company, we'll need 3%. Financial analysis, who will analyze the filings and stuff like that. Next, we are having a research analyst who is good with mostly working with news kind of thing, be it financial news or announcements or praising the company, something like that. Mostly good at internet research, something like that. We are naming him as staff research analyst, and his goal is to being the best at gathering and interpreting data. More generalized, you can put it that way. Here you can see Backstory gives a very good information for him. You are skilled in sifting through news, which is like going through news, company announcements, and market sentiments. Once you know that, you will know, okay, I can work with this company, like I can buy or sell with this company. Now we are analyzing the financials of the company. We are analyzing what is currently going on with the company. If there is a merger, there will be a lot of improvement in the stock. If there is a new investor, that will also make a huge impact, and all of those would be given by this research analyst. Here also we are enabling him with all the tools. Whatever he needs, he'll take it. And finally, we have an investment advisor. Okay, so here you can put the investment advisor as the person who will manage the other 2%. And here is where the communication come into the picture. These two analysts, where the financial analyst will say how strong is the financials of the company, and research analyst will say what is currently going on with the company. And based on these insight, this investment advisor will create a strategic investment. For example, in our Netflix company, it said that you need to at least hold your stock for 12 to 24 months for some reason. Obviously, it is a long debug if you want to go through it. But for some reason, it is saying you want to hold it for 12 to 24 months. And that is set by this investment advisor. Okay. So finally, you are working with investment advisor who has an access with the analysts information and all. Okay, so for him also you are providing the same tools, and obviously the communication will be there. And these are the agents which we are going to work with. These are the employees. So basically, along with you, there are 3 employees. What is your work? Your work is just to run Python main.py. That's all. Your work is the most simplest work in this company. Probably you can even give a name to the company. I haven't thought of it yet. Probably Crew.AI or something like that. Now to create the tasks. So in task, each function will require the agent, and if needed, the company as well. So for research, we are providing the agent and company with the task being collect and summarize the recent news articles and whatever is there related to its industry also. Let's say if it is Apple, the competitors are Samsung, or if you're going to go at chip level, it is Qualcomm, how he is competing with that. Everything comes into the picture, and this research task focuses on that. Okay, so to boost the agent's morale probably, or motivate him, we are keeping a section on a tip section. Okay, we'll add this. Usually in a company also, if you say like you'll be getting a bonus if you do this task correctly, you'll do your best work, right? And that's what we are saying here. If you do your best work, I'll give a $10,000 commission for you, which we are not going to do, but that gives an increase in the performance actually. And then next we have the financial analysis task, which is to go through the financial health and market performance of the company over a last some year, following this key financial metrics, profit equity ratio, and then we have EPS growth, revenue trends, debt to equity ratio. Everything is there. Okay. And based on these, a financial report will be submitted by this agent. Okay, which agent it is, we'll see later. By now you would know which agent it is, but if not also, we'll see later. Okay, and this summary, it should also provide its strength and weakness, which it means like the company's strength and weakness and how it fares amongst the competitors. Everything should be provided. So mostly this is playing around with prompt engineering. Okay, and then filings analysis. Like I said, there is 10Q form and 10K form, right? So you will go through the filings, and then based on that you'll give a positive indicator or negative indicator that you can go with this company or not. And finally you'll recommend based on all of these data which we said right now. You will give your recommendation whether you can buy or not, if buy, when you can sell, all kind of things. And then you have the tip section which we are going to use in all of those. Okay, I hope you all understood the tasks which the model or the each agent has in the company. Now let me show you the main.py file again so that you will understand. Here we have the research task, financial task, filing task, and recommendation task. And as you can see here, filings analysis and financial analysis are done by the financial analyst agent. The research is done by research analyst agent, and the recommendation of investment is done by investment advisor agent. So what this Crew does is, it will go in a first come first serve approach. Here the first is research analyst. So first research analyst will execute, then you have financial analyst, then you have your investment advisor based on these. And the task also which will go in a similar fashion. Research task, financial task, filings task, and recommend task. We are setting the verbose to be true so that you'll have all the logs with you. And finally, we are clicking off the crew, which means the file is now running. Okay, now let me run the file again. File, all you need to do is run python main.py and voila, it will run. So it will take some time to execute, and I'll see you all after this execution is completed. So finally, our company of employees has decided that this company is worth investing the stock on, but you should hold a long position in the stock because it is holding a strong financial health, but there is a positive insider trading. Like there is a probability for insider trading in it. So keep an eye on it, but it is worth of investing in it because its market health is too good. Okay, and it has given a simpler response than right now than before because I told it to keep simple. Okay, so yeah guys, that's it for this video. I hope you like this video. If you all think you gained something very fruitful in this video, please hit the like button. It is free for you, but does a tremendous good for me. And share with your friends and communities who you think might find this useful. But more importantly, let me know what company I should build next in this channel so that you will all enjoy this kind of video. I'll see you all in the next video guys. Until then, cheers.